Welcome to the Fire Rescue Wellness Podcast Spotlight, where we revisit take-home messages and shine a light on previous FRW podcasts in 10 minutes or less. I'm Lex, AZ's right and left-hand woman, and I churn out these mini episodes for her. Let's go.
So when I first got here, and I'm probably gonna regret saying this, we didn't have the internet when I first got here. So I brought all of my books from university into my office, and I would actually use books to get information.
Oh my goodness, Kelly.
I know. It really hurts my feelings even to say it. We did get the internet soon after. So I was here for like a year and we did have the internet. So, but I started cold calling departments all over, the largest departments in each state. And I asked them how they got their training and what kind of training they got and what it is they were looking for. Because I myself was looking for training because I wanted to, the most popular training program was Cooper's Institute. And Cooper's, when I called them, they said, well, this isn't for you because you already have a background in exercise phys. This is for people who don't have a background in exercise phys. So I really didn't have anywhere to turn to learn best practices in physically teaching a police academy, So I basically learned it from the people that I was training with and that I was there to help. We were really there to work together, I was learning from them and they were learning from me. And, I think we created a better system than existed before. And I think that yet there's a lot of area of opportunity for, us to keep moving forward. But just data collection and fitness testing, we've been doing that for 20 years. So we have probably the largest database of fitness data just because, I've been collecting it for so many years. So it's kind of the industry has evolved a lot, and we actually hosted the tactical strength and conditioning course here as a beta test, so that we could give some feedback on the information that was shared. That was in its infancy. So the industry is totally transformed. In fact, the last time I was at TSAC, this last meeting, I was just looking at the crowd and how big and the expo and everything. And I was like, wow, this is really impressive. In fact, before I started Fit to Enforce, I spoke to somebody and I said to them, you know what we need? We need a conference for law enforcement because there is no mentorship for physical fitness. And I'll never forget the person I was talking to was like, that'll never work. No way. There's no way that'll never work. And I was like, you really don't think so? I think that it's a completely untapped field. And they're like, nah. And then a couple of years later, that's when the NSCA was starting to marinate in the idea of, tactical strength and conditioning, which I think was such a huge need and no better, organization to do it than the NSCA, in my opinion. But so it's come a long way.
And it's really funny, Kelly, but as you were talking about that, I think we need a conference. Mm-hmm. I really think there's a place for it. I was reminiscing back to another conversation you and I had about a food product that you had been wanting to invent. And the lesson here is when Kelly Kennedy has an idea, listen. So, Kelly, what I didn't tell the listeners yet is you actually, not only do you have 23 years experience in your agency, you also casually got a Ph.D. along the way. So was that Ph.D., was that the research that you gathered at your agency, or tell me about the Ph.D.?
Well, so when I got here, I had my master's, and the department wanted to give an opportunity for people working here to further their education. So I got my PhD in global leadership from Lynn University. And Actually my dissertation was on the factors involved in marksmanship during police officers during qualifying shooting drills. So yeah, that's what I did my PhD, my dissertation on.
I'm blown away right now. I don't think I knew that. Holy cow.
Yeah.
You are one amazing woman.
Oh, that's
one
so
amazing
kind.
woman. All right. So Kelly, my listeners, I have a variety of listeners. I do have some from law enforcement, and I have a lot from fire, and then I have a lot from the professional health and wellness realm. So I have kind of a mixture, if you would want to call it that. But what I know that I'm going to hear from my fire agencies and my firefighters is this. But Kelly, I'm a fire department. I'm not a law enforcement agency, and I'm tiny, so none of this applies to me. I can't use any of this information. And what would you say to them? Specifically, I would love to have you hit on the return on investment for health and wellness interventions, if you could riff on that.
Yeah. So for any agency, like even, so people from the fire service, I've had firefighters in my courses before, and I think all of it applies. I don't think that there's one entity that's too small to be able to learn all that they can about like health and wellness, because there is just such a it's kind of like an exponential return on your ability to hone in on your training and improve your own performance. And in turn, you can improve the performance of other people that you're able to influence and share with. A lot of it has to do with just like increasing your networking. What's interesting is that like certain cities that I teach in regularly, I meet with other people that have taken the class before, and we go to happy hour, and we all from different classes and different classes around the country. When they come to research, they want to, go have a drink or go hang out, and all of us will go out together and just talk about like the work that we do. It's not necessarily even about law enforcement. It's more just about like training in general. I just think that it's such it just overlaps every aspect of, of the profession for first responders. And I think that it'll just allows us a kind of a straighter path to controlling an outcome, which is essentially what, we're all kind of like looking to do.